Hey guys, welcome back to Reading the Bible in a Year. Today is February 14th. It is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I hope that you are having a fantastic day and sharing it with your loved ones. So on yesterday's reading, we did yet another census. Just to take stock of where they are. It has been many decades since the first census was originally done. Plenty of people have died, so only right to see where they stand and how many people are above the age of 20 that would be able to fight in a war. So that's pretty much what we covered. So for today's reading, we're going to talk about Joshua being named as a successor, and about the tribes east of Egypt. We have a lot to get into today. All right, so just a little blurb about a short segment of what we'll be reading, then we'll continue on with the rest of it. So God has already told Moses that because of his earlier sin, he will not be able to enter the promised land. Aware that his death is imminent, Moses is quite naturally concerned about the future leadership of Israel and asks for God's guidance in the selection of his replacement. It must be gratifying for Moses to learn that God has chosen Joshua, who has been Moses' faithful protege for over 40 years. The investiture of Joshua will take place before the people of Israel and in the presence of Eleazar the priest. Numbers 27, verse 15. Moses said to the Lord, "May the Lord, the God who gives breath to all living things, appoint someone over this community to go out and come in before them, one who will lead them out and bring them in. So the Lord's people will not be like sheep without a shepherd." Numbers 27, verse 18 through to 21. So the Lord said to Moses, "Take Joshua, son of Nun, a man in whom is the spirit of leadership, and lay your hand on him. Have him stand before Eleazar the priest and the entire assembly, and commission him in their presence. Give him some of your authority, so the whole Israelite community will obey him. He is to stand before Eleazar the priest, who will obtain decisions for him by inquiring of the Urim before the Lord. At his command, he and the entire community of the Israelites will go out, and at his command, they will come in." Numbers 27, verse 22 and 23. Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and had him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole assembly. Then he laid his hands on him and commissioned him as the Lord instructed through Moses. So here's another little setup for what we're going to be reading next. And the next chapters that we're going to be reading, books, is going to be from Numbers 32, verse 1. And we are going to read through to Numbers 35, verse 8. So while preparations are being made for the invasion of Canaan, Moses is approached by the men of Gad and Reuben, who have decided that they prefer to settle east of the Jordan River, an area which they believe will afford especially good pasturage for their many cattle. Moses is at first skeptical, thinking that perhaps the men are making the request in order to avoid fighting for Canaan. When assured that the men will help conquer the promised land, Moses agrees to their request. Apparently, half of the tribe of Manasseh also likes the plan and is permitted to settle on the east bank along with the other two tribes. anticipating the need for cities of refuge as detailed more fully under Israel's criminal statutes. Moses designates a city of refuge for each of the eastern tribes. So starting at Numbers 32, verse 1. The Reubenites and Gadites, who had very large herds and flocks, saw that the lands of Jazer and Gilead were suitable for livestock. So they came to Moses and Eleazar the priest, and to the leaders of the community and said, Ataroth, Dibon, Jazer, Nimrah, Eshban, Eleleh, Sabam, Nebo, and beyond. The land of the Lord subdued before the people of Israel are suitable for livestock, and your servants have livestock. If we have found favor in your eyes, they said, let this land be given to your servants as our possession. Do not make us cross the Jordan. Moses said to the Gadites and Reubenites, should your fellow Israelites go to war while you sit here? Why do you discourage the Israelites from crossing over into the land the Lord has given them? This is what your fathers did when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to look over the land. After they went up to the valley of Eshcol and viewed the land, they discouraged the Israelites from entering the land the Lord had given them. The Lord's anger was arose that day, and he swore this oath, because they have not followed me wholeheartedly, not one of those who were 20 years old or more when they came up out of Egypt will see the land I promised an oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not one except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua, son of Nun, for they followed the Lord wholeheartedly. The Lord's anger burned against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years until the whole generation of those who had done evil in his sight was gone. And here you are, a brood of sinners, standing in the place of your fathers and making the Lord even more angry with Israel. If you turn away from following him, he will again leave all this people in the wilderness, and you will be the cause of their destruction. Then they came up to him and said, we would like to build pens here for our livestock and cities for our women and children, but we will arm ourselves for battle and go ahead of the Israelites until we have brought them to their place. Meanwhile, our women and children will live in fortified cities for protection from the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until each of the Israelites has received their inheritance. We will not receive any inheritance with them on the other side of the Jordan, because our inheritance has come to us on the east side of the Jordan. Then Moses said to them, if you will do this, if you will arm yourselves before the Lord for battle, and if all of you who are armed cross over the Jordan before the Lord until he has driven his enemies out before him, then when the land is subdued before the Lord, you may return and be free from your obligation to the Lord and to Israel. And this land will be your possession before the Lord. But if you fail to do this, you will be sinning against the Lord, and you may be sure that your sin will find you out. Build cities for your women and children, and pens for your flocks, but do what you have promised. The Gadites and Reubenites said to Moses, we, your servants, will do as our Lord commands. Our children and wives, our flocks and herds will remain here in the cities of Gilead. But your servants, every man who is armed for battle, will cross over to fight before the Lord, just as our Lord says. Then Moses gave orders about them to Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun, and to the family heads of the Israelite tribes. he said to them, "If the Gadites and Reubenites, every man armed for battle, cross over the Jordan with you before the Lord, then when the land is subdued before you, you must give them the land of Gilead as their possession. But if they do not cross over and with you armed, they must accept their possession with you in Canaan." The Gadites and Reubenites answered, "Your servants will do what the Lord has said. We will cross over before the Lord into Canaan armed, but the property we inherit will be on the side of the Jordan." Then Moses gave to the Gadites, the Reubenites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the king of Og, king of Bashan, the whole land with its cities and the territory around them. The Gadites built up Dibon, Ataroth, Aroer, Athroth, Shophan, Jazer, Jogbah, Beth-nimrah, Beth-haran as fortified cities, and built pens for their flocks. And the Reubenites rebuilt Heshbon, Elileh, Kiriathaim, as well as Nebo and Baal-meon. They gave names to the cities they rebuilt. The descendants of Machir, son of Manasseh, went to Gilead, captured it, and drove out the Amorites who were there. So Moses gave Gilead to the Machirites, the descendants of Manasseh, and they settled there. Jair, a descendant of Manasseh, captured their settlements and called them Havoth Jair. And Nobah captured Kenath and its surrounding settlements and called it Nobah after himself. Then Moses set aside 3 cities east of the Jordan to which anyone who had killed a person could flee if they had unintentionally killed a neighbor without malice or forethought. They could flee into one of these cities and save their life. The cities were these: Bezer in the wilderness plateau for the Reubenites, Ramoth in Gilead for the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan for the Manassites. On the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into Canaan, drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you. Destroy all their carved images and their cast idols, and demolish all their high places. Take possession of the land and settle in it, for I have given you the land to possess. Distribute the land by lot according to your clans. To a larger group, give a larger inheritance, and to a smaller group, a smaller inheritance. Whatever falls to them by lot will be theirs, distributed according to your ancestral tribes. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land, those you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will give you trouble in the land where you will live, and then I will do to you what I plan to do to them. Remember what the Amalekites did to you along the way when you came out of Egypt. When you were weary and worn out, they met you on your journey and attacked all who were lagging behind. They had no fear of God. When the Lord your God gives you rest from all enemies around you in the land he's giving you to possess as an inheritance, you shall blot out the name of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. The Lord said to Moses, "Command the Israelites and say to them, when you enter Canaan, the land that will be allotted to you as inheritance is to have these boundaries. Your southern side will include some of the desert of Zin along the border of Edom. Your southern boundary will start in the east from the southern end of the Dead Sea. Cross south of Scorpion Pass, continue on to Zin, and go south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it will go to Hazar Adar and over to Asman, where it will turn, join the Wadi of Egypt, and end at the Mediterranean Sea. Your western boundary will be the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. This will be your boundary on the west. For your northern boundary, run a line from the Mediterranean Sea to Mount Hor, or from Mount Hor to Lebo Hamath. Then the boundary will go to Zidad, continue to Zephron, and end at Hazar Enan. This will be your boundary on the north. For your eastern boundary, run a line from Hazar Enan to Zepham. The boundary will go down from the Zepham to Riblah, to the east side of Ain, and continue along the slopes east of the Sea of Galilee. Then the boundary will go down along the Jordan and end at the Dead Sea. This will be your land with its boundaries on every side. Canaan, we're now talking about Canaan for the remaining tribes. Moses commanded the Israelites, assign this land by lot as an inheritance. The Lord has ordered it that it be given to the 9.5 tribes, because the families of the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. These 2.5 tribes have received their inheritance east of the Jordan, across from Jericho toward sunrise. The Lord said to Moses, these are the names of the men who are to assign the land for you as an inheritance: Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun, and appoint one leader from each tribe to help assign the land. These are their names: Caleb, son of Jephunneh, from the tribe of Judah; Shemuel, son of Ammihud, from the tribe of Simeon; Elidad, son of Kislon, from the tribe of Benjamin; Buki, son of Jogli, the leader, from the tribe of Dan; Haniel, son of Ephod, the leader, from the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph; Kemuel, son of Zaphan, the leader, from the tribe of Ephraim, son of Joseph; Elizaphan, son of Parnach, the leader, from the tribe of Zebulun; Paltiel, son of Azan, the leader, from the tribe of Issachar; Hahihud, son of Shilomi, the leader, from the tribe of Asher; Pedahel, son of Ammihud, the leader, from the tribe of Naphtali. These are the men the Lord commanded to assign the inheritance to the Israelites in the land of Canaan. On the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, command the Israelites to give the Levites towns to live in from the inheritance the Israelites will possess, and give them pasture lands around the towns. Then they will have towns to live in and pasture lands for the cattle they own and all their other animals. The pasture lands around the towns that you give the Levites will extend 1,000 cubits from the town wall. Outside the town, measure 2,000 cubits on the east side, 2,000 on the south side, 2,000 on the west, and 2,000 on the north, with the town in the center. They will have this area as pasture land for the towns. 6 of the towns you give the Levites will be cities of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone may flee. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, you must give the Levites 48 towns together with their pasture lands. The towns you give the Levites from the land the Israelite possess are to be given in proportion to the inheritance of each tribe. Take many towns from a tribe that has many, but few from one that has few. And that ends our reading for today, February 14th, Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed today's reading. I hope you're having a fantastic day with your loved ones. And with that being said, stay blessed, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.